So with the Rugby Sevens World Cup coming to a close, the top 8 all have one match remaining, and this game is a massive one for a 7th place playoff game. Samoa versus South Africa should be an absolutely awesome fixture, a dream matchup for some people, getting to see the Samoans go head to head with the Blitzboks. But we will be doing a preview, looking through at previous results, also who we think will be able to perform well in this game, and then close it out with a score prediction. But if you are new to the channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Nonetheless, let's get straight into it. So first of all, we will look at Samoa. They have had one extra game over their opposition, South Africa, as they were a part of that pre-round of 16 where they were able to beat Uganda 33 points to 7. Then they moved on to the round of 16 and they got a huge amount of points up against the USA, managing to win that game 40 points to 12, and what was an incredibly impressive performance from the Samoans. They then moved on to the quarterfinal. Unfortunately for them, they did end up getting defeated by Fiji 21 points to 10. They scored first in that match, then Fiji just got that momentum rolling, and that same Fiji is now playing off against New Zealand in the World Cup final. So Samoa, unfortunate to come up against the Fijians in their quarterfinal. They still put up a valiant effort, losing that game by 11 points. Then they found themselves having a match up against France in the 5th to 8th place semi-final, which then booked them the spot in this match as either the winner or the loser. They did lose that game 24 points to 17. It was a last minute try off a mistake of Va'a Pelomaleko, which then led to France being able to score it and move themselves through to the 5th place final. So those are the 4 matches for Samoa. An interesting stat is that throughout those 4 matches, Samoa have scored exactly 100 points. They're averaging 25 per game, and to average 25 when you have come up against the USA, Fiji, and also France. So 3 tough opposition, but Samoa still finding a way of being able to score some points on the board. Then we look at the Blitzboks. They had one less game as they weren't a part of that pre-round of 16. Their first fixture up against Chile, they were able to win it 32 points to 5. So actually a very similar scoreline to the first match that Samoa had up against Uganda, in which they were able to win it 33 points to 7. So just a little bit of difference between the two sides there. Then we look at the quarterfinal. Ireland were able to win it 24 points to 14 over the Blitzboks. So 10 points difference. Samoa had an 11-point difference up against the Fiji, and you're starting to see a little bit of a trend here, very similar in the way that they have been playing. And then in the 5th to 8th place semi-final playoff, they were beaten by 7 points. Argentina winning that game 26 points to 19. Same difference as Samoa had up against France. So to say that these two sides have had very similar paths up to this point would be an understatement. Every game almost identical for the points differential, and now they get to clash for the final game in Cape Town. Now, neither of these sides have finished as high as they would have liked. South Africa, they came into Cape Town with a lot of confidence. They had home field advantage and a Commonwealth Games gold medal in the cabinet. They wanted to add to that. At this point, 7th is as high as they can get. But now looking through at key players for both of these sides, we will start with Samoa. For me, Paul Scanlon and Steve Anisai have been terrific for Samoa. Every time that they have been on the back foot, they seem to be able to turn that momentum around, which is something they may find up against the Blitzboks. Both sides can start matches quickly, so if they get it right early, Samoa, maybe that's enough of a deficit to mean that the Blitzboks aren't quite able to catch up. Although one thing's for sure with the Blitzboks, when it's late in a game and they start to feel that pressure, that is normally when we see those magical moments, whether it's a kick in behind from Selvin Davids, a magical run down the wing from JC Pretorius. They can create some incredible plays, which is why those two that I just mentioned, Selvin Davids and JC Pretorius, are my 2 South African players to watch out for in this contest. It's a shame that South Africa hasn't had many opportunities though for the Blitzboks. Like I mentioned throughout the last live stream, 1,400 point veteran of the 7th game. South Africa struggling to score as many points as they normally do. Why not give him a bit more of a crack, see how he goes in this match up against Samoa? Maybe he can create that little bit of extra momentum that the Blitzboks do need to win it. But the Blitzboks, I mentioned about how many points Samoa had a little bit earlier on, the 100 from their 4 games. For South Africa, they have scored 65 points in their 3 fixtures. They're averaging almost 22 points per game. So theoretically, with those odds, you would think, because of how even these two sides are, maybe Samoa are just able to sneak it. But you could see the disappointment on Brian Lima's face after the last match. They knew that they had that one almost in the bag up against the French. They were at least going to be going to golden point time, but just that little kicking mistake of a Pelomaleko led to the counter-attack, and France able to secure themselves a spot up against the Argentinians. But this game, for me, it's a question of who wants it more. South Africa, the last thing that they want to do is let down those people in the stadium who have made the trip to go and watch the Blitzboks play. We saw that first game up against Ireland when they were defeated. You could see the heartbreak on the face of the crowd. Some of them have been there for 14 hours watching the Sevens just to see that special moment. Unfortunately, it was a special moment for the Irish rather than the South Africans. Then having that loss today up against Argentina. I did hear rumours that people were actually leaving the stadium early due to that result for the Blitzboks, although by the sounds of it the prices were quite high, so I don't think I would have been one of those people. But Samoa, they always play with such passion and pride, and it is one thing you always get with Samoa, ton of heart, which is why this game, I think there is a chance, this is a bold call of course, there's a chance that this match could be more entertaining than the final between Fiji and New Zealand, and that is an absolutely outrageous statement to make. But these two sides on their A game could have a game full of fireworks, and I cannot wait to get to see it in action. So now we're up to that stage of giving my score prediction. I mentioned Samoa scoring an average of 25. I mentioned South Africa scoring an average of 22. I think this game could be close. Both sides are going to go out swinging. But Samoa, I think that passion will get them over the line. The Blitzboks, they look good in that first match up against Chile, but in both of the other games, they have had so many errors compared to what we normally see for the Blitzboks. So for that reason, Samoa by 7 is my score prediction for the, ironically, 7th place playoff. So maybe 7th for the 7 points ahead for the 7 Samoan players on the field. There are a lot of 7s involved, but of course that is what happens when you're at the Rugby World Cup 7. We had 84 matches and the competition now coming to a close. It's a bit sad really. I won't even know what to do with myself. Currently it's the middle of the night. We do have those live streams coming up a bit later on that we are going to do the commentary for, so be sure to check those out. But yeah, it's been a very awesome few days of the 7s, and it makes me even more excited for the World 7 circuit to get back underway. But thank you all very much for tuning in. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel, and I will see you all for the next one.